I'm just not gonna say anything. To work. Easing into things is, well, it just doesn't work for me. Full blast or nothing, that's like, it's the, I think that's my main disease. Exclusively vacuuming up metal chips is hard on the nozzle. Who would have thought? So last year I picked up the cylinder castings from Salevatech. 4 of them. One is ready for plating, well, almost. We need to face this surface and some slight cleanup, but now we're gonna finish machining these, or start machining these other three. And last week I received the case from Salevatech, or the case halves, the castings for the case halves. Three of them, which means we can have 3 engines, complete engines, ready for swap in case something happens. But why do we need 4 cylinders and 3 cases, like spare parts and spare engines and stuff? Well, we're going to Bonneville to set a speed record on the salt flats again, like last year. And now we need to get the wheels turning. We've got to kick things into action. I need to start gathering sponsors, talking to old sponsors, and try to repair all the burnt bridges from all that, the stuff that's been going on lately, really for 2 years now. We gotta start somewhere. Start machining the cylinders, get the engines ready. As this is a casting, there's really no like proper reference surfaces here. So this will be the, this is the bottom reference now. I've cleaned up the like flashing like this. I probably explained this last time when we did the first one. And now I'm gonna find my other reference, which is the height of the exhaust port. With how I designed this, the sacrificial material here is just flat inwards, which means it's easier to get the somewhat accurate height. So I'm using this Allen key and I'm butting that up against the exhaust port roof, and then I'm going to take a measurement. Cinematics here are probably not the best. 21.14, and we want it to be 18.7, which is 2.44. Is there 2.44? I'll zero here, and in my software, in the CAD file, this is 3 millimeters above where I want it to be. So I'm going to zero here, and then I'm going to lower it 0.66 millimeters, and that should give us the proper zero in relation to the exhaust port. No, I won't lower it. In the software it says we should remove 3 millimeters, and I just want to remove 2.44. I'll raise it and do the machining, and then we'll do a measurement and adjust accordingly. So that's what we have to do. We have to raise it. Almost got me there. So that's our zero, and now we have to change that zero to 44.66 millimeters over the actual zero, like that. Last time I used an operation which averaged the bore all around. That's kind of hard now because of these lugs in there. So I'm just gonna like 4 points, and there's no, like, that's probably just as good as an average of the rough surface here. So let's I think it's in the correct position to do 4 points. Yeah, and not hit those lugs. So now we have our 0 in X and Y and Z. I'm not sure if I've really showed you before. You might be familiar with this, but so this is Mach 3, and so here I've loaded my my software, which is top.tap. That's the top machining software, and you can see all the parameters where the tool is actually sitting. And now I'm wondering why I brought you here to talk about this, because there's nothing to really talk about. This is the software. So I push a button here, cycle start, and then it starts. I know why I showed you that, because I wanted to make this a little bit more interesting, which I failed at. Because the part now is not that interesting, because it's so blurry. And, like the machining here in two-stroke stuffing enterprises is boring to watch. But so now we're gonna face this, and then drill some bolt holes and face these posts. And hopefully nothing goes wrong. And then there's 2 more times of that operation for the 2 other cylinders. I'm gonna grab my coffee. First operation. And now the bolt holes. So before we do the success, before we do the posts, I'm gonna check the face height here, 18.9. There's some roughness in here, which means I think it's it's probably less than what it reads now. So I think we're good. There's definitely much more taken off here versus here, and that's kind of concerning, but well, it is what it is. So that did not touch these surfaces, so I'll have to go I'll go 1 millimeter more down. So this is a little bit concerning. You can see how it cut into here, but not here, which means it's sitting like the whole cylinder, the casting is shifted towards this side. Or towards this side. That's kind of hard to say, but it is shifted towards it is shifted maybe a little bit like this. Hopefully not too much. If it's not too much, the problem is the ports not becoming perfectly symmetric, which I would really like them to be. Excuse the noise, it's the heater. I think we will have to well, I'm gonna grind these lugs down, try to make them as flush as possible, and then we'll use the averaging probing procedure or program. Because well, this one doesn't have that problem because there's no lugs. Like these are like feeders for the bridges while casting, and this one didn't have them either. And so this one we won't have to do this, but here we'll have to. So first we're going to get it in a position where it's not touching those posts. There's like, so in some places a millimeter difference, and that's the problem really. But taking an average of the whole bore, like I can't, there's no other better way of doing it, I think. We can still get unlucky and it touches like 12 high points on one side and 12 low points on another side. So, but this is the best I can do. We won't know how good it is before or until we do the bore. But we will get an indication now if it touches the same amount on both sides here. So we got them lined up here from, well, this is the first one I did. I think actually this one is slightly better aligned. So actually it should sit like this, from best to worst. So best, good, might be good, but it's kind of off, and this one is most off. So hopefully they're fine. Like if we have 2, that's good enough. If we have 3, that's better, and 4 of course better. But 2 is should get us through Bonneville this year. 3 would be better, 4 of course even better. Indicated the ref cast bore and did this surface and the bolt holes, the top mounting holes. Now I want to make sure what I do here is concentric with this, and re-indicating the bore, the rough cast bore, won't be, that's not a good option. It will very likely make it not true or in line or whatever with this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to serve the machine on my sacrificial plate thing there and drill or bore holes corresponding to these holes, and then I'm going to use dowel pins to locate the cylinder, and in that way it should be concentric and well, should be the same. Well, this should make it, that's the best option. Another good thing with this is I won't have to dial in 3 cylinders. I can just dial in 1 and do the other 2 without more, it's already zeroed. So that's the plan. Fixture plate, that's what it's called. What's kind of sketchy now is I have a bottom file and then a bottom 2 file and then mounting holes bottom 1 and 2. So I'm gonna go inside and check which one I used here. Like in the CAD file there's only 1 bottom, so I'm not sure what the difference is between those 2, and I can't really risk. Well, I can't remember. That's the problem with this being a long time ago. I can't remember why there's 2 of each of them. There's something weird going on with one of them. But what? I'm not sure. So I'll have to go inside and check that. I couldn't see anything wrong with any of the programs I had made. So I think it could be I had a compiler error or something, and then I wanted to redo the files. So, but I've set it at 20% speed just to pay attention and see in case there's something weird with. So I'm starting with bottom 2. I think that's what we should do. So let's see what happens here. I'm gonna pay extra attention now to make sure it doesn't, when it's done with the machining operation, that it doesn't want to move straight up and then across. Like it wanted to do there. We saved it. For the next one, I think I want to see if I can make something a little more low profile. I replaced this with this, and now our tool should clear. And I have to adjust my drawbar, I think, because this is stuck in there, and which means I'll have to crowbar it out each time without breaking the tool. Not sure if I pressed record. So the first cylinder is a success, or the second one. The first one I did a long time ago. First one success, and now same operation for the 2 others. That's both faces of all 4 cylinders done. This one is completely done except for threads and plating. These 3 will need the exhaust flange faced and holes drilled in it, and boring in the lathe. So that's the operation for this week. Get that done, start machining the cases. Full blast, full speed. Important now to keep the momentum going. Get these done as soon as possible, get them sent to plating, and get the case halves machined. Then start gathering up parts, and start gathering up sponsors, and start planning for the first trip over to the United States, and just get the Bonneville adventure going again. Yeah! Thanks for watching. See you next time.